Let's build a small round coffee table that is quick, cheap and high quality. This is a very easy build. However, placing 3 legs evenly does require some funky maths and geometry. A friend of mine recently moved into a new apartment and she struggled to find a good quality coffee table. So she bought a solid hardwood top for $29 and 3 metal table legs for $7 each. And I said I'd be happy to build it for her. So all in, we're looking at around $50. But first, let's build a compass. Cut 2 thin lengths of timber to the same length. Sand a brad nail to a sharp point for one side of the compass. I used a small box hinge I had lying around and glued 2 pieces of timber together using CA glue, as I didn't have any suitable screws. Cut the head of the brad nail off with a hacksaw. Using a small drill bit, drill a hole for the nail. Be sure to drill 5 to 10 millimeters less than the length of your nail. Miter the corners so they don't get in the way when in use. Dip the nail in polyurethane glue and slide into the drilled hole. Tape a pencil securely to the other side. Using a small clamp, secure a small offcut of wood to the pin side of the compass. We'll clamp the other side shortly. Now we need to first find the exact center of the tabletop. Using a large square, line up the inside corner with the edge of the round tabletop. It doesn't matter where. Slowly pivot the square on that edge until the long inside edge of the square is reading an even number on the edge of the tabletop. Now draw your line. Whatever the number is, divide it by 2 and mark the midpoint on the line. Now invert the square and follow the same process using the same number as before, remembering to mark your midpoint. Place a long inside edge of the square on the newly drawn line while placing the inside corner of the square on your midpoint mark. Now draw a line. Invert your square and repeat the same process. At the intersecting points of these lines is exactly center. Check with your tape to make sure it measures the radius from the edge to the center point. I want my table legs to be 80 millimeters in from the edge for aesthetics, so I need to create a new circle. I first mark 80 millimeters in from the edge and set up my compass from center to this mark. I use a second clamp to lock my compass in position. Carefully, I rotate my fancy new compass, drawing a perfect circle, which actually worked better than I anticipated. Mark anywhere on the circle where you'd like a table leg. Using the compass in the exact same setup as before, place the pinpoint on the new mark, rotate the pencil side of the compass towards the circle and draw a mark on the circle. Move the pinpoint of the compass to this new mark and repeat the same process. Do this all around the circle until you have 6 marks. Choose one of the marks where you definitely want a table leg, circle this mark, working clockwise, skip the next mark and circle the 3rd mark. Skip the 4th mark and circle the 5th mark. These are the positions for all 3 table legs. An additional step I needed to do was to draw a line from the table leg mark to the opposite mark that is not going to be a table leg. I did this with all 3 table leg marks. This just makes it simple for me to line up the outside corner of the table leg with the mark and then center the inside corner of the table leg with this new line. Once the leg is in position, I use a self-centering drill bit and drilled 2 holes that I could access, and then marked an indentation for the other 2 holes I couldn't access with my drill. Now I just sand away the pencil marks with 120 grit sandpaper. Now it's time for the finish. 3 coats of Danish oil.